Item 12B, consider and take action on a consent to encroach for a private access road for the drilling, production, and maintenance operations associated with the South Hammock drilling request, paralleling an east-west drainage way and crossing a north-south drainage way north of Austin Street and west of Farmer Market Road 270. Staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second? Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, yeah, staff recommends approval, subject to conditions. And Councilman Dawson, you're going to second that?
Yes.
Okay, discussion. We got Mick Phelan on the queue.
Rich, I assume that it's Rich. Hopefully you have a map that shows how they're going to come across that drainage ditch. Excellent. Could you describe how we got to this point and what exactly it is we're talking about?
Sure. This is part of the permitting process that the South Hammock Forza group is going through. Part of what they have to do is they have to come back and request just a right of entry on our drainage easement to be able to access this site. Originally, they were going to go down Texas Avenue, and we asked them, we really preferred they didn't do that. So this is a quick way to get them over to the site. What they're proposing is to come off of Highway 270, and they'll have to have, TxDOT will require they acquire a permit to do that, and come across our property. They will have to build what we would call a bridge, but it's really just culverts with stabilized base over the top of it, over Robinson's Gully, to access the proposed drill site. Now, they're going to have to prepare plans and specs. They have to do a drainage study. They have to do all of that. Has to be part of this process. First, they have to have approval to be able to go this route, because if this isn't the route, then they'd have to do a design and drainage study elsewhere. We think it's okay with us, with staff. We've looked at it. In fact, if so approved, and they put this little bridge in here where they can go across Robinson's Gully, we've asked them to leave it in place. And that would give us access for our crews to be able to get on the other side of the gully and mow. Right now, that's difficult for us to do. We actually have to ask permission from other landowners to be able to cross to get to the other side. So it kind of provides us access along that drainage way.
Early on, when Forza first came to us with this drilling request, they had their method of getting onto that drilling site was coming down Texas and across Austin, if I remember correctly, and it was
I think that's right.
Really messy in there,
right.
And we said no, go back and try something else, and this is the solution they've come up with to keep those trucks off residential streets.
That's correct.
The one other question, north of the storage facility there, isn't that itself a culvert? I mean, a drainage ditch where?
Yeah, it parallels one. It does.
So it's going to be on the north side of that ditch, it looks like?
On the north side of that, yeah.
Okay. That's our right-of-way in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That it, Mick?
Yep.
Dan Becker.
Rich, are we still operating under an informal agreement with Forza that they are going to comply with our new ordinance when we get it flanged up and ready?
That's correct.
Okay. In principle, what you're proposing, I know you've looked at carefully and makes a lot of sense, but I see this as one of the last sticks that we have to get these folks' attention. I'm a little uncomfortable with giving that away until we can get our ordinance flanged up and then get them to sign in writing that they're going to comply with it.
Okay.
Is that it, Dan?
That's it.
Dennis O'Keefe?
I think Mick has, in ways, I agree with Councilman Phelan's comments and yours as well, Rich, about as an avenue to bring our mowed equipment from one side of the ditch to the other, but at the same time, as a newly elected council person, I understand there's a lot to this particular agenda item, and even though I've been following this along closely, I can only follow it so close, and then that's all that I'm entitled to know. There are some things that I'm sure that could possibly be game changers that occurred in executive session that I've never been privileged to, nor anyone else in the audience. And I think it would behoove the city to move this thing forward without giving the newly elected council people an opportunity to become more educated and more well-informed about all the issues pertaining to the particular application.
Councilman Mick Phelan?
I will withdraw my request to speak.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Mick Phelan to approve and a second by Councilman Joanna Dawson. Please vote. Okay, it's a 3-3 tie. Okay. Y'all are throwing me in. Way to go. Okay, we have Councilman Dan Becker, no. Joanna Dawson, yes. Mike Lee is not here. Andy Mann is yes. Dennis O'Keefe, no. Mick Phelan, yes. Phyllis Sanborn, no. And I'm going to have to vote no at this time. So the motion fails 4-3.